Willie, of course, each week looks at the weekend's movies. And was there a question I was going to ask? Good morning, Willie.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Good. Was there a question I was going to hit Willie on when it comes to movies that are out there? I don't know. There was something I was going to hit you on, but we'll get to it. Maybe I'll even remember. Okay, so here we go. What is this movie called Geostorm, Willie?
Oh, Geostorm. I wish I could tell you what it is. I wish I could tell you what it's all about. You know what these idiots did? This studio decided that nobody should see Geostorm. They decided that they won't show it to critics. They decided they won't show it like at midnight shows. They're like, you're just on your own if you go see this thing tonight.
Wow. So it hasn't shown yet? Or it?
No, I mean, only like in Australia or something. I mean, you know, all I could say is it must be such a flaming piece of garbage, they're worried you're going to go blind.
What is it about, by the way?
Well, the idea is that global warming went crazy and made the weather insane. So we came up with a satellite system that would control the weather. But now the satellite system has gone haywire, and things are more dangerous than ever before.
Yeah. I'd say, what are you giving this? But you can just only imagine, right? It's probably not going to be all that good.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's going to be, you know, which is really disappointing because they've been pushing this movie hard. I mean, I feel like I've been watching trailers for this thing since March.
Yeah. And
now all of a sudden, you know, when it comes go time, the studio gets cold feet and decides to try to hide it from you.
Are there any big Halloween movies that are going to be coming out? I know there are a few already out, but don't they just throw some out into theaters a few weeks before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to get some Halloween stuff. You know, the new Madea movie, Boo 2, is out this week, you know, with Tyler Perry as the bawdy, crazy Madea. And I'm not going to lie to you, there was so much other stuff to see this week I didn't get to see Tyler Perry. I mean, you've already made up your mind if you're in or out on the Tyler Perry movies at this point. But, you know, you've also, next week, you've got Jigsaw, which is supposed to be a rebirth of the Saw franchise. You've got the Happy Death Day that came out last week, which was pretty good. So you've got your fill of horror movies, and I think it is still going to be a big movie. You're going to see that make a little bit of a comeback as we get into the Halloween season. If people want to see a good creepy movie, and that's
highly rated. That you gave that 3.5 waffles or something like that.
Oh, I think it's very good. I mean, I went like 3 waffles on it. You know, I think it's a good, scary movie, and I'm kind of excited for the sequel. And how many times do you find yourself saying that in the world these days?
All right, I do know, before we get to the last 2 movies, because you do have 2 that you've seen, and I do want to ask you about Star Wars, because I'm beginning to get confused. I know there's a movie coming out in December, which we're all excited about, right?
Yes.
And then there's one coming out, so we're going to do one every year. So I assumed that we'd be seeing one again next Christmas season. But are we going to see 3 in the next year? Or because I'm seeing this next Star Wars after this one is going to be out in March.
Well, you've got I don't know which one you're talking about for March.
The Han Solo one.
I'm not sure what that would be, but there are 2 big Star Wars movies that are on the horizon right now.
All right.
The first one is currently being directed by Ron Howard. It's the Han Solo movie, basically a prequel about what Han Solo did when he was a young guy before he got involved with all Luke Skywalker and everybody else. And that movie is going to be coming out, and then you've got the next installment of the main Star Wars franchise, which will be 2 years from now. And there was talk that maybe it was going to come out in the summer 2 years from now, but now it looks like they're going to push it towards Christmas because they're having so much success with it. They need a little bit more time to work on it.
All right.
So those are your 2 biggest projects. And they're talking about doing all sorts of other stories. They want to do like a Princess Leia story, and they want to do maybe a Chewbacca story. And there's talk of a Boba Fett movie. So, they're really trying to make this into this massive franchise, even bigger than it already is, and try to give you, like you said, a movie every year just to keep the money flowing. My God, George Lucas, you're a genius.
And so the movie, the movie Solo, which is Ron Howard's, is coming out in December.
Now that will, we got to see. You know, this movie they've been making the movie all year long, and there was a fallout between the studio and the original directors. And they kind of exited the picture.
Right,
and
that's when Ron Howard came
in and started directing a couple months ago.
All right.
So we have to see how far behind they are and how much that may get delayed.
Okay, so we might not be seeing another installment in the Star Wars franchise this year. We might not see that.
It might be like 2019.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Oh, wow, and that's boy. I didn't expect that. Snowman, you did see this one, and this is a murder drama. What is this one?
Yeah, you know, it's Michael Fassbender as this detective in Norway, and of course he's a complete mess, and he's an alcoholic, and his personal life leaves much to be desired. And now there's a serial killer loose in Oslo who is, you know, taunting him and sending him notes. And he's trying to get to the bottom of it all, especially as it turns out this guy may have been operating for a very long time. And I think this is a movie that could have been a lot better. You know, it really feels like a TV miniseries. It feels like it should have been on HBO as a true detective story or something, because they're trying very ambitiously to do stuff about Fassbender's life and the big cat and mouse game between the killer and him. And you've got Fassbender's partner, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who seems to be running her own investigation, and we wonder why she's doing that. And I think they could have taken more time to kind of develop all of it instead of giving us a little of a lot.
All right,
I feel like two waffles.
Two waffles. All right, and then the final one is, boy, talk about a topical one, and I have about 50 seconds, Willie. Only the Brave, which is the true story of firefighters battling a wildfire, right?
Yeah, and it's one of the most heroic movies you'll see. It's just a good, old-fashioned, feel-good movie about a group of just brave firefighters who are all finding redemption as they, you know, train to take on the battle of a lifetime. And I love the technical aspect of it. Pardon me. How you see everything they have to do to fight these fires. Right. 3.5 waffles for Only the Brave.
Nice. All right. Well, and talk about topical with everything going on in California. So, all right, Willie, great stuff. His website, by the way, is wafflemovies.com. Willie, great job. We'll talk to you again next week.
Talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks so much, Willie Waffle.